Hello, my name is Amanda Benelli. It's September 3rd, and this is my introduction for ESE 668. In my professional career, I graduated from the University of Southern Mississippi in 2011 with a bachelor's degree in biology. I was planning on going to dental school, but that didn't work out. So I took a year off and I decided to become a teacher, and I got certification through Belhaven University. I started working in the public school. First, I taught 1 year of high school biology, and then I decided to get special education certified over that summer. I taught 1 year of middle and high school self-contained SED. Then I taught a half year of resource in middle school. Then I taught 2 years, 2.5 years of middle and high school self-contained SCD. Currently, I work at a therapeutic day school. This is my second year there. We just started on August 2nd, so we have officially made it into the second month. Right now, I have middle and high school significant cognitive disability, severe profound students with behavior issues. What a therapeutic day school is it is a private school that public districts pay for the students to attend. So it's the free appropriate public education. My class is a group of students from ages 12 to 20. Most of them are on pre-K level. Most of them are on the autism spectrum, and most of them are nonverbal. I have 3 paraprofessionals that assist me with the children, and all of my students are taught on alternate standards, so they will not receive a traditional high school diploma. This is a picture of my family, myself and my husband Benjamin. We got married Halloween of last year, so we'll be celebrating our 1 year anniversary in not too long from now. And my son Charlie just started kindergarten. He actually turned 5 this past week on August 25th. About me, my hobbies include drawing and painting, playing video games. I like to play video games with my husband. I like to go swimming, playing with my son, of course. We're really into Legos right now, and pets. As you can see, I love cats. Those 2 are my parents' cats, and I have 3 cats of my own. Let's talk about IEP experience. Um, in thinking of my personal experience, I had the same students for a while, and this was back when I was doing middle high school self-contained. So I had the student, we'll call him Jerry. He was wheelchair bound, functioned at about a 9-month-old level. He was eligible under multiple disabilities. He had cerebral palsy. Had orthopedic impairments. He was in a severely, profoundly intellectually disabled, but he was super happy, and I just absolutely loved him. He was wonderful. He was so excited when a familiar staff came in the room. He was able to stack 2 blocks, and we were working on eating with a spoon. So if you put the spoon into food and then let him pick it up, he could pick it up and feed himself. And while I was doing that, I noticed that sometimes Jerry would prefer some foods during lunch over other foods. And I talked to the behavior specialist, who was also the SCD classroom coordinator, about getting him an assistive technology device. Well, I took data on his decision making, and they did an evaluation, and he was not eligible for assistive technology, but we noticed that he was making decisions, making choices as part of self advocacy. We continued to work with Jerry, and we provided him with a homemade picture communication board. So the board had foods that he liked, and it had a picture of his brother and then familiar staff. We developed a goal relating to Jerry using that board to communicate what he wanted to do. So, like, did he want to see his brother? Did he want to see a particular staff? What did he want to eat that day? and we tried using picture communication with him. As far as I know, Jerry is still using his board to communicate. It's been a couple years since I've seen him. Now we'll go into development. The state of Mississippi is all about standards-based IEPs. There's a PowerPoint link here on this blue document that'll take you to how we develop IEP goals based on Common Core state standards. Mississippi alternate standards for SED students are here. So what's great is Mississippi has recently, as you can see, they're all updated as of this year, developed alternate academic achievement standards, where the student is now eligible to receive an alternate diploma. It's not equivalent to a high school diploma, but it does allow the student to access academics at a higher level. And this type of diploma is only available for significant cognitive disability students. It has replaced MOD, which is Mississippi Occupational Diploma. We were one of the last states to actually still have MOD. Next, dynamic learning map or Common Core essential elements. If you work with SED students, you're probably familiar with these as they're what's used in the state testing. So I'll take you to this website too. I actually really love dynamic learning maps. They link standards together as how they flow. So you have like the most basic standard at the top, and as the student develops an understanding, the standards actually grow and they all link together, which is wonderful. So, as you can see, as we go down the diagram, they get more and more complicated. All right. So, and all academic goals must be linked to an age appropriate standard. Like, I have a student who is 17 functioning on a first or second grade level. While we are working on second grade level material, he still has to have a standard that is appropriate for someone who's in 12th grade. So what I do is I go into the dynamic learning maps or those Mississippi alternate standards, and I find the one that most closely relates to what he's working on. So one of his goals, the student I'm thinking of, is to demonstrate an understanding of text while he's engaged in reading it. And there was a 12th grade level goal associated with that that I was able to put on his IEP, even though we're reading second grade level text. The next thing we use to develop IEPs is progress monitoring. Data, 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 data. You can never have enough data for an IEP. So one of the things you can use is curriculum-based measurement. And here is one of the local school districts has a whole lot of these. And what you do is you do the initial assessment probes with the students and you follow up on a periodic basis to see how the student's progressing. So you could do this weekly, you could do this monthly, you could do this every 9 weeks, whatever's going to work. But here's all of these forms linked on this book right here. We also use cold probe datas, which are linked to the ABLES. ABLES are a form of ABA that are used with significant cognitive disability students. So this is the autismhelper.com, which is a great blog site, and it's the assessment of basic language and learning. I have one student that's using ABLES. So for example, sort items by type. So I might give the student a set of pictures that show flowers and a set of pictures that show animals. And she has to sort the objects by type, sort them into two separate categories. So you can track ABLES in a few different ways. Um, this is the way that they track it that comes with the actual program, but ABLES is great. And you can find stuff on Teachers Pay Teachers for ABLES also. Going back, also observation, of course, just informal observations of your students, watching them, how they interact, what they ask for, what they like, that kind of stuff. We also use the ABC behavior form or other forms. Here are some forms from another local school district. Since I work at a private school, I don't have these. I used the ABC form when I was taking data on a student when he was new to our school so that we could do a comprehensive reevaluation. So ABC, antecedent, behavior, outcome, or consequence. So when did it happen? What were you doing? What else were you doing? What was the behavior? And what did you do after the behavior? So I had to take 10 straight days of behavior data on this student for us to develop appropriate goals for him. You can also use tally marks to track behavior. The ones we use at the school, we also do the tally marks, but this one's a more formal recording form, especially if you're doing a functional behavior analysis. Okay, moving on after IEP Experience. So this past May, I wrote 10 IEPs for my students. I had to make all of the goals and have data, baseline data from the previous year to be able to say that those goals were needed to validate them. So I used progress monitoring, behavior data, and the former goals to develop them. You have to develop goals based on the student's individual needs. I use the standards mentioned earlier, such as the Mississippi alternate standards, to link goals to the academic standards. And the main goal of a therapeutic day school is to help children deal with behavior issues. Academics are provided, and most of the stuff we do is functional daily living skills and pre-vocational skills, since I'm working with SED students. Some of them do academic things like reading and sorting. We do a lot of learning to recognize our name, looking at community signs, that kind of thing. We we have a lot of fun in there. But this was me, Amanda Benelli, for ESE 668. I hope you enjoyed my presentation. I'm sorry it is so super long. If you watched this long, thank you. I appreciate it. And have a great day or evening, depending on when you watch this.